Alright, Rachel, so what you see over here is I just typed in and made that correlation and just typed in some classification. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the correlation statistic right over here. So just go ahead and highlight that box. I know this looks a little different because I'm on a Mac, but we can go to Insert, and it's a function. And if you're on a PC, then usually you have some tools up here. So I'm going to click on that correlation, double click, and it's going to open it up. So what you see over here is array 1 and array 2. So it's asking you which two groups would you actually like to compare. So in this first group, we're going to be comparing the counter movement vertical jump to the 1RM. So that first array, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that first series, which is your counter movement vertical jump. And as you can see, it actually inputs it here in the box because that's going to show you your input, your equations. And then if you look up here, right, you could type this all in. You don't have to do the box. So you could actually type this in, and people that are really fast tend to do that. But I like to do it the old-fashioned way, maybe. So then I'm going to click on array 2, and that's going to put the cursor there, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to come over here, and again, we're at 1 repetition maximum squat. So I'm just going to highlight that. And again, what you see up here is correlation, so that's actually the function, and then array 1 and array 2, right? And then we look up here and it's correlation. This is your first array or group of data, and this is your second array or group of data, okay? And then you can just click enter. And what you see is a really nice correlation statistic. So remember that 0.82 is pretty high. So that shows us that there's a nice relationship between the counter movement vertical jump and the 1 repetition maximum squat. Now I can do the exact same thing and go through that same process. Double click, cursor's in array 1. So now we're doing 1 repetition maximum squat. And then I come over here and I click in array 2, and then I'm going to highlight the sprint. Okay, so again, you look up here and you can double check, and that's the cool thing with these different colors, is it's showing us exactly what that is. So I'll hit the return key. Boom, got another statistic here. And that makes sense, right? Because in class we talked about the negative relationship. So as your 1 repetition maximum squat goes up, your sprint times should go down. And again, not a bad relationship right there. And then I could do the same thing, or this is a Microsoft Word product, so you can do things like copy, and then in here I'm going to paste. All right, now you need to be careful because you need to make sure that you have the correct array. So what I do is I'm going to highlight that, and if I look up top here, that's correct, that's the right function we're looking for. But if I click in there, it's going to show me and highlight the areas, right? That is not the correct array. So I make that little hand so I can just pull that up. And you can also just move it by moving the corners, right? So we're looking at the counter movement vertical jump to the sprint. That's the 1 repetition maximum squat, so I need to move that over 1. There we go. So everything looks correct up here. I hit return, and now I have another relationship. And again, the higher you jump, the lower it shows you as far as your sprint time. So that would be a normal, like what we talked about as a correlation.